This is a wireless remote camera shutter, specifically for Sony cameras. I was sent this to review for free. If you wanted to purchase it, it would cost you about $39. They haven't paid me for my review, and my opinions remain my own. Okay, so in the box we have the receiver, and it comes with a cold shoe mount, and it has a little place here where you put two AAA batteries, which are not included. We also have the transmitter, and the transmitter uses a coin cell battery. It's a CR2032, and they do include one of those batteries separately. So you will have to provide your own set of AAA batteries for the receiver. Now, the receiver has this little shutter release cable here, and they give you two options for different style of Sony cameras. My particular camera, the A6300, uses this kind of a micro USB style connector, but if you have one of the Sony cameras that uses this very proprietary looking connector, they also include that connector with the unit. And there's a little wrist strap here that you can put through this thing here so that you can attach this to your wrist and not drop it. So I use remote shutters on my camera for astrophotography so that I can take a picture without jiggling the telescope. And I've been using one with a wire, and it works pretty well, but that's just another wire going to the end of my telescope. So I'm excited about the wireless nature of this, simply because that way there's no wire hanging between the camera and the rest of the telescope setup, and I can get farther away from the telescope when I push the button. Now, I use this primarily for taking single exposures, but I'll also want to lock the shutter down to take many exposures at a time. And so I'm most interested in knowing, hey, does this have kind of a bulb mode where you can press and hold and lock it down without having to hold this button, for 10-20 minutes on my own. So in installing batteries, both batteries go in the same orientation with the negative side towards the spring. So the total weight of one of these guys with the cable is just under 3 ounces, or 77 grams, and that's the weight added to your camera. Now, the actual transmitter with the battery is relatively small. It's like 18 grams. So you can use this as just a wired shutter without using the transmitter at all. You can just, push part way, turns green, it auto focuses, push all the way, turns red, it takes a picture. So it's possible to use this just as a wired shutter. Now, that might explain why this cable is so long, but typically I would expect most people are going to use this as a wireless shutter. And I don't know how you're going to mount this, if you want the cable coming off the back with this thing sticking forward, or if you want the cable coming off the front with this guy kind of sticking back into your face. You could do it that way. Now, I'm not sure if this will go sideways. So in my opinion, mounting this sideways would be the perfect way to go. But it doesn't seem to want to fit sideways. It'll fit frontwards with the cable sticking out the back, or you can flip it around and do it pointing out this way, so it's going to hit you in the face when you get your head too close to the camera. It does have a 1/4x20 mounting point on the bottom, so if you had a cage, you could certainly mount this to a 1/4x20 mounting point, or some other cold shoe somewhere else. So we're just going to mount it up like that. Cable's kind of organized. It's a little longer than I'd like because of that kind of handheld wired shutter ability, but it'll work okay. Now, transmitter, basically the same operation as that button. You push and hold halfway, it turns green, it autofocuses. You push the rest of the way, it takes a picture. Now, for astrophotography, I'm interested in bulb mode or in continuous shooting mode, because I typically set this up in a continuous shooting mode, and then I will lock the shutter arm to take multiple images. And reading the manual, it says all you have to do is push and hold, wait until this guy goes out, and it locks. So now you can see there's a red light up here. It's locked into continuous shooting mode. So I can take as many pictures of a planet as I want without having to push anything. When I want it to stop, I push the button again, it comes out of continuous shooting mode. And if you are in bulb mode, that same operation works in bulb mode. So right there, this guy's going to do everything I need it to do for astrophotography. Now when I mount this to a telescope, I'm mounting it right there, and this guy's probably going to hit the telescope that way. So I would probably have to mount it like this, coming out the back. And that would give me enough room in the front. And I don't really get my face too close to the camera because I'm using the screen instead of the eyepiece, so that's acceptable. But it would really be nice if this guy would mount sideways. So they give you two wrist straps. Putting this guy on the transmitter was very easy. There is a spot on the receiver to thread a wrist strap through, because I'm going to be using this guy not as a handheld wired remote, but as a cold shoe mounted wireless remote. I'm probably not going to put the hand strap or the wrist strap onto the receiver myself. All right, the only other feature this guy has is a timer delay button. It says 2, like a 2-second timer delay. The manual says it does a 3-second timer delay, so we're going to push it. 1001, 1002, closer to 2 seconds in my opinion. 1001, 1002. And that timer function is done in the receiver. It's not using your camera's delay timer. So I don't believe there's a way to change that. For astrophotography, sometimes I like having a 5 or 10 second auto timer, but that's usually when I'm manually triggering it to let the telescope stop wiggling. If I'm using a remote shutter, there's really no need for a delay timer. Now I could see if you were using this to take a picture of yourself, it might be nice to push the button and then put this in a pocket really fast so you can have a natural looking hand in the photo. Now it says the range is 80 meters, clear line of sight. My camera is behind that door and brick wall. I'm going to just push the button here and we'll go inside and see if it took a picture. So the answer is no, it did not take a picture with that brick wall between the camera transmitter and receiver. All right, so I have my camera out on the step there in front of that door. I'm going to push the button and take a picture, hopefully. And then we're going to walk forward more, and I'm going to take another picture where I'm standing next to the pine tree, so right there. And then we're going to take another picture where I'm kind of standing next to this tree here. And then I'm going to keep walking forward, and I'll take a final picture when we get very close to the camera here. I heard that one. So yeah, that took a picture of me all the way down as far as I was, so pretty decent range, line of sight. Alright, I'm happy with the functionality of this guy. Would have been classy if they'd included AAA batteries with the package. I feel this cable is longer than I want. It's great if you're doing kind of a handheld remote, but if you're doing a handheld remote, why pay extra for the wireless features? I guess that's just a nice feature to have, so you don't need to have two different, wired and a wireless remote. It would have been kind of nice to have a really short cable, but I understand why they kind of make a long cable for all features there. This cold shoe mount works in two directions, but not the other two that I want it to work in, but whatever. You could also mount it 1/4x20. So range, just fine as long as you have direct line of sight. It's not going to go through lots of walls and lots of distance, but then again, if you're going through walls, the camera can't see you anyways. So very functional, works well with my camera. I don't have any camera to test this adapter, but I see no reason why that adapter would not also work if your camera uses that style of adapter. Alright, I have this Aodelan Pebble remote shutter for my camera, and the way it came from the factory, this guy would mount like that, or like this, where it pokes you in the face. And it mounts like this, the cable comes out in the back and still kind of hits you a little bit. So I want to mount it sideways like this, and yes, I realize that covers these top controls over here, but I'm using this completely remote shutter hooked up to a telescope, so I don't mind that it's covering those remote controls. And if that becomes a problem, I can always put it in this way and have it hang off the side where it doesn't interfere with anything, and have that little wire go back around. So I want it to go 90 degrees from where they want it to go. Now the easy solution is if their cold shoe point would let you put it in any direction, but the way it's molded, it doesn't. It only fits in one particular direction. So it'll fit this way. Now the saving grace here is if you take 3 screws here, here, and here out of the bottom of this guy, the whole thing comes apart, and there's 2 screws that go through 2 holes here to hook into that guy. Now there's actually 4 holes on that guy, well 5 if you count this thing, and so it's intended to be mounted this way, but it looks like maybe I can mount it off in a different direction. Now the problem is they have it keyed to go in one particular direction, probably to make sure the people in the factory don't mess it up. And so if I turn it, it may not fit into that key correctly. So they're making it really hard to mount this guy in the opposite 90-degree directions. It's not quite angled exactly 90 degrees. I'm not sure if I got off by a hole or if it's just the keying marks not working out correctly there. But I am able to mount this kind of in the direction and orientation I want. It's not a modification I suggest unless you absolutely know you need to mount it in a non-standard way. But it is possible to kind of rotate that 80 degrees if not 90 degrees.